Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Superhero films have reached unprecedented levels of popularity, with 1989's Batman playing a crucial role in paving the way for their success. Tim Burton's unique take on the iconic superhero, who was previously associated with a lighthearted television series. And this movie marks a significant moment in pop culture history. The behind-the-scenes story of the film's production is just as captivating as the movie itself. And it stars Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Robert Wuhl, Pat Hingle, Billy D. Williams, and Jack Palance. As development for the Batman movie began, studio executives were still very tied to the campiness embodied by the Batman television series from the 1960s. When they first began to attempt to get the rights to make a film, CBS was the only person that showed any interest in doing it, and they only wanted to do it if they did some type of Batman in outer space film. The producer lobbied hard to get the rights to Batman and finally landed it in 1979. At that point, the fight to convince the studio to make the film ensued. Universal Pictures and Columbia Pictures flat turned it down, but Warner Brothers finally agreed to back the film. And then the issue of developing the right script had to be settled between everyone, and that took even more time. After years of battling, finally in 1989, Batman was finally released. Now things could have looked a little bit different had casting gone a different way. You see, Robin Williams was offered the role of Joker when Jack Nicholson hesitated on the part. Williams had actually accepted the role, but the producers decided to try to get Nicholson to bite on that part again. They did this by telling him that if he didn't take it, that Robin Williams would. He ended up taking the role, and Williams was released from the project. And he really resented being used as bait to get Nicholson. But he also refused to be involved in any Warner Brothers production until the studio apologized for what they did to him. Eventually that happened, and he started making films with them again in 1997. Nicholson's contract allowed him to receive a percentage of the gross of the film, and due to its massive box office intake, he took home around $60 million. When these actors and actresses negotiate contracts that have them receiving a percentage, it's somewhat of a crapshoot. But if it hits the box office big, it turns into massive dollars for the actors. Michael Keaton often calls himself a logic freak, and he was concerned that Batman's secret identity would in reality be fairly easy to uncover. And he discussed ideas with the director, Burton, to better disguise the character. These included using contact lenses to make his eyes look different, and then ultimately he decided to perform Batman's voice in a lower register than when he was portraying Bruce Wayne. This technique became a staple of future portrayals of Batman in film and television. Keaton also had a terrible time hearing anything when he had the bat suit on. And he was also claustrophobic, and he felt that claustrophobia helped him get into the proper mood to play the role. It made him go inward, and that's how he wanted the character to be anyway, to be quite a bit withdrawn. The two stars of the film had completely different schedules during filming. Jack Nicholson's strict schedule stipulated in his contract that his call to the set was to be later than most actors or actresses that were on the production. You see, he was known for having late evenings, some of these lasting to 3 o'clock in the morning. Michael Keaton would arrive early in the morning, and Nicholson would come in around 10 a.m. at the very earliest. He would greet Keaton, then sit down in his makeup chair, tilt his head back, and fall asleep immediately as the makeup artist did their work on his prosthetics. Keaton really felt like his background in comedy proved real useful in playing this role because it gave him instincts in how to shape scenes and build dimension into his character. An example of this is in the scene where Bruce and Vicky are having dinner. Keaton suggested that they be seated far apart at a very long table, and his line of dialogue that pops up saying, "I don't think I've been in this room before." In a second example, he contributed to the idea of Bruce hanging like a bat after sleeping with Vicky, which makes all the other stuff even weirder and darker because you're thinking, this guy's off kilter a little bit. Keaton also came up with a famous line from the movie, that being, "I'm Batman." It was originally scripted to say, "I'm the Knight," but nowadays it's one of the most remembered lines in the film. When Tim Burton initially saw the art department's original life-size polystyrene model of the Batmobile, he turned to him and said, "Where's the door?" The design team suddenly realized that the design that they had done lacked any doors. That being said, they were inspired by the cockpit of a Harrier jump jet and came up with the idea of the sliding cockpit. In the scene where Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne are walking around Wayne Manor, Kim Basinger pulls off her shoes and remarks to him, "My feet are killing me." That line was completely ad-libbed by the actress because the 3-inch heels that she was wearing were in fact hurting her feet. In another part that has to do with Kim Basinger's feet, you'll notice that you see her take off her shoes for no apparent reason while exiting the Batmobile. This was actually due to the fact that she kept scraping the paint off the car in the multiple takes that they did. The paint was imported from Japan and was very sensitive, so it kept needing to be resprayed. Go back and watch this fascinating film from 1989. You'll enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.